Little game of a guy or the guy. Are these quarterbacks franchise game changers? Bart, is Derek Carr the guy or just a guy?
I think he's a guy, right? And, he's a guy that can play the quarterback position professionally. But when you have guys on the other side, like, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, can he win those type of games? Can he be the difference maker against those? My answer is no. I think he's a good professional quarterback. I don't think he can help you beat the super quarterbacks in this league.
Harry, let's talk Jimmy G. Is he a guy or the guy?
Ooh, this is easy for me. I think he's just a guy. You look at a guy in Jimmy Garoppolo, and Kyle Shanahan tailored a lot of things back. Offensively, when he was the quarterback, we go back to the Super Bowl versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't make that throw. You look at the NFC Championship game a year ago, and he wasn't able to get it done versus the Los Angeles Rams. So he's just a guy in my eyes.
Okay, and then Bart, is Justin Fields the guy or just a guy?
Oh, he's the guy. I just don't know if he's the guy for Chicago, as I believe they look to reset the quarterback market. When you see these crazy numbers that all these new quarterbacks are going to get, you know that if he plays well, you have to address that position in 2 years with the opportunity to get the number one pick and let this regime get their quarterback. Could be an opportunity to reset their clock on paying a quarterback $45 million plus.
And that's the thing. Could they reset the quarterback in the draft? The Bears have the top pick. And take a listen to this. Our draft expert, Todd McShay, had this to say about Alabama quarterback Bryce Young.
I think he's a smaller version of Patrick Mahomes. The presence he has in the pocket, the ability to feel pressure coming, the ability to see the whole field and make all the throws with really good touch and timing. He's different than all these other guys. Personally, I would take Bryce Young if I was Chicago. I would do it because I would want Bryce Young because I think he's an upgrade over Justin Fields, and I want his rookie contract so I have 5 years. But I don't think they're going to wind up making that decision.
Wow. I mean, I completely get the point, but wow. Could you imagine if they did that with the season Justin Fields just had? Well, Harry, I want to talk to you about this. Should the Bears draft Bryce Young and trade Justin Fields?
No, they shouldn't. Justin Fields should be their starting quarterback. You talk about a guy who had 1,100 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns last year. He brings another dimension to the game. We just witnessed Jalen Hurts and what he was able to do after becoming a better passer. I'll take it a step further. I want to see Justin Fields with an offensive line. I want to see him with skill position players around him. And I got a question for the Chicago Bears. The Philadelphia Eagles were able to get Jalen Hurts to a point to where he played outstanding this year, along with Jalen Hurts on his own, working on his game. Do the Chicago Bears trust their coaching staff to allow Justin Fields to become a better passer? Those are the questions that I have for the Chicago Bears. But you talk about a guy who now brings another dimension to the game and forces a defense to defend you a different way because of the way he utilizes his legs and is able to run. I can't get rid of no guy like that.
And go ahead, Bart.
So see, the difference is, and listen, I said this 2 months ago on my radio show that I believe that should be the play. And it's not because Justin Fields isn't a worldly talent. The problem is you talk about you want to see them with a good offensive line. You want to see him with a great skill position players. That takes time. Jalen Hurts went into a situation where that was already in place. Kelsey was already there. Mulata was already there. So now how do you get that for a young quarterback? You get it by getting draft capital. So imagine what, Justin Fields, because he's under contract for 2 to 3 more years, would get you as far as draft compensation to be able to do that. The thing is, Chicago has all the money in the world. They don't have the players. And I don't know how many people are going to rush to go join a team that's just starting. This gives the new regime an opportunity to get a fresh start, restart the clock for 5 years, and you saw that that's how you win in this league, by getting the most talent you can get with a cheap quarterback on a rookie deal, much like Jalen Hurts is, much like when you think about Russell Wilson and what that was. It gives you an opportunity to go and get can't-miss veterans.
So you're saying you would or you wouldn't do it?
I would. Simply because the timing for when those young, you go get that talent that you need to put around Justin Fields, by the time he get there, who knows what kind of condition he's going to be in because they use him so much running. He's got beat up this year, right? But he needs to go to a team that's already ready, that has the pieces around. That's why I said he should be an option for the Jets. If I'm the Jets, I'm calling Chicago, say, I'll give you 13. Can you imagine having 1-13 and being able to get it, reset the clock on a young talented quarterback and build around him for 3 to 4 years and try and change the narrative of what Chicago Bears are.
And I assume this makes sense if you believe that he is a young Patrick Mahomes, or at least Patrick Mahomes-ian. But I want to put up this graphic of those skill position players that Harry was talking about, just real quick. And then, Harry, weigh in on what Bart just said.
Yeah, check this out. So here's the thing for me. You look at the skill position players, the wide receivers for the Chicago Bears last year had a total of 10 touchdowns. There are 5 players in the National Football League as an individual that had more touchdowns than the Chicago Bears did totally as a team, wide receiver-wise. And Bart, I would say this. You have the number 1 pick this year. You could trade back if someone wants to jump up and get draft capital. They have the most money to spend in free agency, almost $100 million to work with. So I think you can bring guys in within the next 2 years to allow Justin Fields to be able to become a better quarterback and a better player for your organization.
Yeah, but how many veteran players that already got their money are going to be saying, okay, Chicago's my first choice? Because you know that the Lions are ahead in the process. Minnesota's ahead in the process. So I got to go there and wait a couple years to win when it's teams that's ready to win. It's other teams that have, salary cap space that can offer those receivers or those skill position players the same thing that the Bears can. So that means that the Bears are going to have to overspend. So it's going to eat up all that extra draft capital that you have. You should build this team young so that they can ascend all at the same time. Chicago's in a rebuild, in a reset. And so now you look at, you look at Fields and look at the toll that it did on his body, right, with all the running that he did. He's not built like Jalen Hurts. He's not as stout as Jalen Hurts to withstand the physical punishment of taking those hits. So I wouldn't, if I was him, I would say, listen, I love being here, but if you can move me to a place that's a contender that can protect me, then I can blossom and become a thrower, because all we know is he's great in running the football. They want to see him be great in elite throwing the football, which we know he was better when in college than Jalen Hurts.
And you saw the numbers on Fields last year, not very good. But then again, you got to make sure that Bryce Young is brought into an environment where he's not going to get
the Panthers, you think about the Jets, you think about the Saints. This is the opportunity for him to be like that shiny new toy, right now before, the market gets flooded.
Graz, jump in. Graz?
Yeah.
I think we lost Dan for a second there. But let me see if I can get Harry in here. Do we have Harry? All right, we're getting our guys back. But you know what? Oh, Harry, there you go. Harry, what are your thoughts?
Damn, that mic bigger than your head. The Bob Barker mic?
Be quiet, Bart. No, but I think the Jets as an organization, I'll talk about them first. I think they need to pursue Derek Carr. I don't think they need to sit around and wait for Aaron Rodgers. Yes, I understand Aaron Rodgers is the better quarterback. He's a guy who has won multiple MVPs, and he has a Super Bowl on his resume. At the same time, he is in a dark place right now, right? And it's a lot of things that come with Aaron Rodgers. Also, he has to be traded to the New York Jets, and a lot of things have to happen for that to go down. With Derek Carr, he's a free agent now. That's the luxury of being able to be a free agent before everyone else is. It happened to me when I was with Atlanta, and I was able to hit free agency before everyone else, and that's when I signed with the Tennessee Titans. So Derek Carr right now is in a perfect spot. I don't think he needs to rush because the quarterback market isn't what we're accustomed to seeing. We really only have 2 guys, Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr, and I'll throw a third one in there, Jimmy Garoppolo. And we know Aaron Rodgers is probably not going to get traded to an NFC team. So I think right now, Derek Carr is sitting in a great spot.
Okay, we got Graz back with us. Graz, give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I kind of see it like Harry does. I think time is on Derek Carr's side. I mean, I understand the point about Rodgers, but only one team is going to get Rodgers. And if you're Derek Carr, it's to your advantage to wait that out. Let's say you're talking to the Buccaneers and the Jets, right? And the Jets want to wait out Aaron Rodgers. You keep the Bucs on the hook. The Packers aren't going to want to trade Rodgers in the NFC, so your market is bigger than his is. And then you wait to see if the Jets don't end up getting Rodgers, they become more desperate. So I think if you're Derek Carr, you have a luxury of time here. You have the ability to sign right away, which is a good thing, but I don't think you have to rush it. You're still a month away from guys like, Jimmy Garoppolo and Daniel Jones and Geno Smith and guys like that being able to sign as free agents. So you have the luxury of being able to meet with teams, talk to teams, figure out what's out there, and play teams off of each other.
And here's also why you wait, right? Because we know this quarterback market is about to be reset. If the reports are accurate about Herbert and what he's about to get, you know Jalen Hurts is going to take it to another level. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. By the time you wait a month, that can be the difference in $5 million more annually because he's going to become a bigger and bigger